Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Amazing Nerdiverse. I am Jeff Grants.
I am Stephen Tugert.
We want to jump right into things because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's go ahead and jump in.
This is an episode, or this week I've been looking forward to quite a bit for months now.
One or two things.
Yeah, Luke Cage came out last Friday. The Flash is back.
I almost thought you were just going to stop. Luke Cage came out.
That's it. I mean, really, we could talk about just Luke Cage in this entire episode, but we also want to touch on the other season premieres that have happened.
Right.
But before we jump into those, real quick, there's a couple of news stories I wanted to talk about. There's some really crazy stuff going on. So let's jump into the movie news. First topic, movie news. This was just announced today, Wednesday, the October 5th. WB is actually releasing an extended cut of Suicide Squad.
Okay.
We weren't sure they were going to do this. We know they did this with Batman vs. Superman with the Ultimate Edition.
Do we know what kind of stuff there might be on it?
Well, there was a David Ayer's cut of the film.
Okay. Which
was a lot longer. There's a lot more Joker stuff that we've heard about from Jared Leto. Was kind of pissed that a lot of his Joker scenes got cut out.
Is there more Batman stuff?
I don't know. I don't know if it needs more Batman stuff. Okay. You still haven't seen it, have you? No. I liked the movie, as I've said before. It was definitely, it looked like a lot of the movie's problems were WB kind of taking control in the editing room because, David Ayer said that he had a very different cut of the movie, and I want to see his cut of the movie because that dude is a great filmmaker. So maybe when it comes out November 5th on digital, I'm definitely going to pick it up then, and it comes out on Blu-ray December 13th. But
digital video disc?
Digital video disc. You watch Reno 911, right?
Yeah, I watched that with you.
Oh, the thing I'm talking about, the digital video disc? Yeah. It's like a special feature of just talking about first season of Reno 911 is available on digital video disc. I don't know.
I don't know if kids today know that that's what that stands for.
I don't know. Is it digital video disc or digital versatile disc?
What else could it be?
I heard some people say digital versatile disc.
Why? It's not very versatile. It has one function.
Video.
Yeah.
Right. So. I don't know. Look it up later. Look it up on your own time. Google it. The other big news story. This is just a rumor right now, but it started by the actress. There was an interview in Wired with Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
And she says she's been watching a lot of Marvel movies lately.
Okay.
Wondering if that might be because she's up for a Marvel role in the MCU.
Who do you think she would play?
I saw this. I saw these two names on an article. I believe it was on comicbookmovie.com.
Okay.
They made these suggestions, and I really like both of them. First one is Janet Van Dyne, Hope's mother in Ant-Man, the original Wasp.
Yeah.
I would really like that.
Yeah.
I know at one point, I think Michael Douglas said he'd like to see his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, play that character, who's another person I would really like in that role. So if it was between either of them, I'd be down for that. The other version is even more interesting to me, and it's Death.
Okay.
What if Sigourney Weaver was playing Death? Because you know what the Marvel Universe's version of Death is?
Not really.
It's like a woman, but she's like, got the kind of like the hood and stuff and the skull face and everything, but it's clearly her body's a woman. Like Death was in, because both Thanos, because Thanos' whole gimmick is Thanos.
I say Thanos.
Thanos? I don't know, either way.
It's kind of like the Ra's al Ghul thing.
Well, yeah, it's like I've seen the name in comics and I don't really...
Right.
I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's probably Thanos. I don't know. But either
both.
way, he's in love with Death.
Yeah, I know that.
And so is Deadpool. And in the Deadpool video game that came out a couple years ago that I still love. I've played it through 3 or 4 times. Death plays a big part in that too because he's also in love with Death because they can never be together because Deadpool can't die.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking, Death is definitely going to be a part of the story with Thanos because he's literally in love with the personification of death. And that's why in the end credit scene in Avengers is to go up against the Avengers is to court death, and he just smiles. It was a perfect kind of introduction for that character if you know his history. Anyway, other news story, Jon Favreau has announced that Disney announced that Jon Favreau is directing a live-action version of The Lion King now. What do you think about that?
I mean, sure.
You still haven't seen The Jungle Book?
No.
See,
is it magical?
The Jungle Book is great.
Okay.
Lion King is probably one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, like Lion King and Aladdin. And there's no humans in Lion King.
Like, are you including, like, Pixar stuff? Or are you talking strictly, like,
Strictly, like, Disney, like, classic, Disney 2D animated, movies. Aladdin and Lion King are, like, those are the ones that came out when I was the right age. Yeah,
I might say Aladdin.
I rewatched Aladdin recently. I got it on Blu-ray and checked it out. And
yeah,
I hadn't seen that movie in 20 years probably. Still holds up. Still fantastic. And I want to get my hands on Lion King, but it's like, in the Disney vault or whatever. So like you can't find it for like less than like $50 on like Amazon or something. But, I normally wouldn't really be too keen on this idea of a live action, quote unquote live action, because it would all be,
it would just be like CGI.
Yeah, it would look like The Jungle Book, which looked fantastic, and you don't realize that the only thing real in that whole movie is the kid.
Yeah.
And they did it all on a green screen stage.
There's no like human element to put into Lion King, so I don't know why.
But after seeing Jungle Book, you don't need the human element. Like the effects in Jungle Book are so good, you don't remember that.
How good are they?
They're so good that you don't realize that it's all made with a computer in some small little studio in LA.
Boo!
Yeah, it wasn't a good joke. I appreciate the setup, but it didn't work out for us. Anyway,
get off the stage.
But if anyone could do it, Jon Favreau could do it.
Okay.
Because after seeing Jungle Book, I'm completely convinced he's the right guy to do this, and I'm curious to see it. Wondering if they might bring back some of the vocal talent, though.
Robert Downey Jr. should play
Simba.
Yes.
Like adult Simba. Someone else suggested that, I think, in some video
really?
I watched. Yeah, but I mean, reteam with him, play. Mm-hmm. I mean, James Earl Jones would be.
Are all the actors still alive?
Most of them. James Earl Jones, Matthew Broderick played.
Those two are really the only two that would.
Well, Nathan Lane as Timon. And I don't remember the guy who played Pumbaa's name off the top of my head. He's not one of those like name guys for me.
He's like, thanks.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was young Simba.
Right.
Bring him back now to do old Simba. Think his voice has changed? I haven't seen that guy in a while.
Nah, he's probably still the same.
Who else was? Whoopi Goldberg was one of the hyenas.
Oh yeah.
Who was it? Someone who played
Cheech. He was another hyena, wasn't he?
Yeah. Cheech Marin. Rowan Atkinson was the bird, the parrot, Mr. Bean.
Who was Monkey Man?
Rafiki. God, I don't know the name off the top of my head. I actually looked this up when this news came out because I was curious.
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, Jeremy Irons was Scar. Alfred in Batman vs. Superman.
Now I can see that voice.
How do you not bring that guy back?
All right, so it seems like everyone's still kicking.
Robert Goulash? I don't know. He's still alive.
Okay.
He's like 90 though.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, I'm wondering if they would do this version motion capture, because I believe they kind of did a bit of motion capture with the actors on Jungle Book, if I'm not mistaken. I got it on Blu-ray. I need to watch the special features, figure out how they made that movie.
It's like, we'll tell you,
so I can be informed. All right. Couple more news stories real quick. They just announced also today the last Wolverine solo movie is going to be called Logan.
Okay.
Which could be, just a shortened version of Old Man Logan.
Right.
But maybe they're not calling it Old Man Logan because it's not going to be close enough.
Right.
Which
none of it has been.
No, but to be fair, Captain America: Civil War was the only thing in common was that there was two sides and they were fighting each other.
But it was really good.
It was good, yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. I really like Days of Future Past, and that was nothing like it. But to me, these movies based on the comic book storylines are named after them, like Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like like I said, Days of Future Past. They're not going to be able to do the exact storyline from the comics, but as long as they tell a good story and the characters work, in the events and stuff, that's cool. Like Thor Ragnarok is not going to be anything like the Ragnarok
really excited
story.
About that one.
Yeah, I am too.
Just those two.
Plus, it's got the Planet Hulk elements, which are not going to be exactly like the Planet Hulk storyline from the comics.
But they'll have like a little something.
Yeah, they'll have stuff in there. Yeah.
I mean, the little bit that I heard, as soon as it said like a buddy road trip movie with those two, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah. They're saying this Wolverine movie is also going to have, it looks like it's going to have X-23.
What's X-23?
You don't know X-23? X-23 is the new female version of Wolverine.
Okay.
They've got. She's been around for a while, but now they're like, she's dressing like Wolverine.
Right.
And all that stuff. She's Wolverine's clone, I believe.
Okay.
And they're getting into, because they got some Wolverine blood samples and stuff in Apocalypse.
Okay.
You haven't seen Apocalypse, but, you know, there's a tease to Nathaniel Essex, who is Mr. Sinister.
Okay.
So I think Mr. Sinister's the villain in that, and it's going to have X-23. I'm curious to see. Patrick Stewart's in it again, you know, so Xavier's going to be in there. Old Xavier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm curious, because I thought the last solo Wolverine movie was okay.
Right.
It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't I wouldn't say really good, but it was just all right. It wasn't X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is the worst, probably one of the worst comic book movies ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Hard to watch.
All right, one last news story before we move on to our TV reviews. Amazon has officially given a series order to The Tick.
Really?
So they gave a series order to all 3 shows that they put up this season. They said this is like the most watched pilot season for Amazon.
I haven't watched
Tick,
that yet. And I love The Tick.
I love Dick, and
you do?
What's the other show? Jean-Claude Van Johnson. Jean-Claude Van Damme's got a new show. Apparently it's nuts, and I might check that one out too.
Good for him. I love The Tick.
Did you watch the new pilot of Tick?
No.
I wonder if it's still available. It was free to watch. Like,
okay.
You didn't have to have an Amazon Prime account. Now you will when it comes to the series.
Oh, good.
But my sister's got one, so
okay.
I got her login so I can watch it. I watched the pilot episode. It's not the Patrick Warburton version.
Right.
It's not up to that. But I'm interested enough to see more.
Like you watched the cartoon, right?
Yeah. I've got a couple seasons of the I never really read the comics,
no?
But I got the couple seasons of the cartoon, and of course I've seen the live action. You know, I've seen the whole season a couple times.
Some of the like original comic stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I just love that character, and I'd like to see that character living on again.
Yeah.
It's not Patrick Warburton, but Peter Serafinowicz. I love that guy, and I liked I was interested by what he was doing.
I've seen a picture of the costume.
Yeah.
How does it look to you? Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
On his body.
Yeah. The show is just okay, like the pilot.
Right.
But I think that I see a little bit of potential in there, and I think it can get better.
Okay.
But anyway, let's move on to the TV show reviews. Real quick, we didn't get a chance to talk about this because, you know, as we probably, I don't know if we mentioned it or not last week, we pre-recorded last week's episode. So we recorded it before Star Wars Rebels began.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to touch on that show a little bit.
Go for it.
It's still awesome. Like,
I'm gonna get around to it soon.
Yeah. I got both seasons. You've got my first season
still
at your house, so you need to check it out. Of course, you've been watching Luke Cage and all this other awesome stuff. But I just want to point out Thrawn is really cool.
Okay.
He's a cool character. I've been listening to on Audible. Been listening to the audiobook of Heir to the Empire, the first Thrawn. There's a Thrawn like trilogy by Timothy Zahn. It was like one of the first. It was canon at the time, like novels in the Star Wars universe, like in 1991, I believe. And it introduced Thrawn, and it also introduced Mara Jade, which is Luke's wife, becomes Luke's wife at some point. And now all that stuff's not canon anymore, but it's cool to see them actually, you know, their new motto in the Star Wars like story team is that there's some truth in legends, which is legends are what they call all that stuff that's not canon anymore.
Yeah.
So they're saying there's some truth in legends, and we're seeing that now with Thrawn and Rebels. And I'm listening to the audiobook, and he's a pretty cool character, so dog's poking his head in.
He's just staring at us. I'm so sorry. I couldn't. He's got that stupid dumb look on his face.
Scooby, sit.
not sitting. He doesn't respect you. All right, Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, and there's a new character called the Bendu.
Okay.
Which is like this giant like tree kind of creature thing.
Does he walk around like Groot?
Little
stationary.
He's way bigger. He's like
wicked big.
He's God, let's not start that again. But he's huge, and he's voiced by Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor from Doctor Who.
Okay.
Really, really cool voice, and I'm like he's talking to Kanan and helping him because Kanan's blind now after his meeting with Darth Maul last season.
Mm-hmm.
So that character's really cool. I'm loving seeing that, and he said he's not. He's like he represents like a balance in the Force. He's not light, he's not dark, but he's still like connected to the Force and everything. He's the Bendu right in the middle. And you know, in the second episode back this season, we saw Darth Maul again, and he was trying to get the holocrons. Like they have a Jedi. Do you know what a holocron is?
No.
I don't know if they really went into that in the movies at all. Maybe the prequels a little bit. They're these artifacts that they're kind of like pyramid shaped, and they got like crystals and gold and stuff, and they open up and they show Jedi's things. Okay. And like they had a Jedi holocron, and then the last episode in season 2, they got their hands on a Sith holocron.
Uh-oh.
And so Darth Maul comes and they tries to open them both at the same time, and he gets a vision at the end of the episode, and he says they're looking into this thing, him and Ezra, and he's like, twin sons.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, he's alive. And I'm like, he knows Obi-Wan is still out there. And there's going to be, I'm betting they're going to go to Tatooine this season. We will definitely see Obi-Wan again. We might even see a young Luke Skywalker, which at this point might be like 15, 16.
Okay.
Because he's the same age as Ezra. Ezra, you know, he's the young, you haven't watched it yet. He's the lead. He's like the young trainee.
I watched one episode with you, so he's the kid.
He's the kid, yeah. Okay. And he was born on Empire Day, which is the day the Empire was founded.
Okay.
And he was born the day before Luke and Leia, so he's the exact same age as them.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the measuring stick, and
gotcha.
If we see Luke in this show, he's going to be the same age as Ezra. But
power converters.
I think we're going to see Obi-Wan and Darth Maul rematch.
Well,
which Darth Maul was hands down my favorite part of episode 1.
Well, yeah, it was the only fun part.
Yeah, but if you only watch the movies, you're like, he went out like a punk bitch. But in the show, in the animated shows, he's come back a lot, and he's a great character. Like when he comes back in the shows and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, you need to definitely get on Rebels, and then after you finish that, maybe go back and check out some of the select episodes of the Clone Wars, because it still takes place in the prequels. It's all over the place. There's episodes where they focus on Jar Jar and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's kind of hit or miss with at least the first few seasons.
They have Jar Jar in the cartoons.
Clone Wars. And Clone Wars, because it's set between episode 2 and 3. But there's actually a couple episodes where you're like, he's not all that bad. Even the animated series made Jar Jar a little better for me.
Well, yeah, because they had time and...
Yeah. There's like an episode where they go to some place, and he's like, on there in like a diplomatic mission, and like there's this woman, she's like, Jar Jar. It's kind of like Maz Kanata. She's like, where's my boyfriend? And she's talking about Chewie. It's all like look at Jar Jar. She's like, oh, there's Jar Jar, my main squeeze. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. All right, didn't you want to talk? You said you wanted to talk about Gotham.
I did. I have.
Let's touch on Gotham real quick.
I'm very upset.
Why?
Okay. So, however, I forget if it was last episode.
You fell off at some point.
I did. I know exactly where.
Where?
I started watching again the Mr. Freeze episode.
Okay, that was last season?
Right.
Yeah.
So I got caught up from there.
Uh-huh.
Like, I started watching, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it another chance. Yeah. I'm going to just accept the fact that Batman's not in it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna like the character. I'm gonna watch the show.
You're gonna find the stuff that works, right? And then I'm
just gonna enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, there's stuff that works in that show. So there's characters I like.
Going into it like that, I was like, okay, Mr. Freeze, I like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right.
And then they showed me that they could easily have Batman.
Yeah.
When they did Azrael.
Yeah.
Jumping around.
Yeah.
They could easily do it.
Uh-huh.
Made me so angry.
Made you mad,
especially when he's up on that bridge at the end of that episode, and he's just standing there in the capes. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, okay, all right. I'll take a breath, whatever. And then these jerks, they're like, "Oh, you want to see some Riddler stuff? You want to see some cool Riddler stuff? All right, I'll see some Fish Mooney." Why is Fish Mooney there?
She's back.
Look, I started really like when Bruce and Lucius Fox were in like the little chamber, and
Riddler was doing. Yeah,
I was like, perfect
Riddler.
I was like, make it this.
Yeah.
They brought back Fish Mooney.
Yeah.
Why? I want to know why. I want to know who, and I want to know why.
I don't know.
I was honestly willing to give it another chance.
Like
it was those two things.
Like I said, there's stuff that works, there's stuff that doesn't work, and then there's Fish Mooney, because she really doesn't work. Like, I think even the stuff that doesn't work is better than Fish Mooney, which
right.
It hurts the show.
Dude, I don't
know what it is.
I loved Penguin reconnecting with his dad.
Yeah.
And
it was Paul Rubens who played his dad in the Batman Returns, which was awesome.
You know what is like really weird? Not weird, but like Penguin's the bad guy. Mm-hmm. But in that situation when the family's like taking advantage of him, you're like, God, I really want Penguin to kill these people.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Like, just,
they were the worst.
Waiting for it. I was like, dude, just go ahead and
snap. The mother
especially.
Right. She was such a...
God. I was like, come on, dude, just stab these people. Like, at first I thought he was feeding the mom, like, the dog.
Yeah.
No. Her kids.
So where did you get? Are you still on season 2? Are you watching on Netflix?
No, I'm all caught up to the season premiere of season, what is it, 3?
3.
And then...
Wow, you caught up pretty fast.
Yeah. It was a little bit painful.
Yeah. Just had to... Just suck it up and do it.
I don't know why Fish...
yeah.
Is she in the... She's not in the comics.
No.
Can't be.
No, so she was created for the show.
Every time she comes back on screen, she's saying something.
I think they were putting her in the show to kind of be a placeholder as like one of these characters that, you know, like they don't... I don't know why, because they're still throwing everything into the show.
Right.
But it seemed like, to me at least, season 1, she was a placeholder. She was the one that ran the club. And she was the one that, like, you know, Penguin was eventually going to get rid of and take over. And I don't know. I guess the writers just really liked the character or something and kept bringing her back. They must have, because no one else has.
Every time she opens her mouth, like, when she first came back, she started talking as if the fans are going to love it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the line delivery. I was like... Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, that line delivery, like the so out of place, like she thinks she's in the 66 Batman, like with that kind of over the top delivery, like and it really reminds me of actually Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin, like that kind of delivery.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, they did Mad Hatter this week on the show.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's the actor from The Walking Dead, who was the Alpha Wolf. Remember that they captured? Oh, yeah.
Like, I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, Morgan captured him and held him in the...
Again, this brings me back to...
I like what they did with Mad Hatter.
I was honestly willing to be like, all right, I'm going to just get into the show. Then they showed me they could do Batman.
Yeah. And then you're like, why aren't you just doing Batman?
Right. You
know what I would like? I would like for them to cancel the show, then wait a couple years and bring it back. And bring it back with a slightly older Bruce Wayne or...
I don't know.
I mean, that's... If they're going to keep it around, they're going to, which is unfortunate until enough people stop watching it that they cancel it.
My favorite thing is Bullock.
Bullock.
Oh,
Riddler,
I can tell you the exact
Penguin,
scene that
Alfred.
was my favorite of him.
Yeah.
When, like, he's kind of taken the role of the... Oh, what do you call it? Commissioner?
Yeah, when the commissioner's...
And then he was, like, giving, like, that little police report to the press. He's like, and, you know, there's... they shot each other. And, he's dead.
He was perfect casting as Bullock. I was like, the second they announced that casting, I was like, yes.
Good.
Yeah, and then I saw the show and was like, well, he's a shining star. He's a handful of, like, Riddler, Penguin, Harvey, Bullock.
Maybe that should be just...
Yeah, and Alfred.
Alfred's
They're the best parts of it.
I do like the Ben McKenzie as Gordon. Yeah, I don't necessarily like everything they do with the character, but I like him.
I'm actually kind of liking him a little better this season than I have in the past. I think he's kind of growing into the role a little better.
He's got perfect
having
hair.
Done it for a few years. Yeah,
I mean,
he does. All right, let's move on now. Now it's officially time. We got to talk about it. Luke Cage.
All right.
All right, so before we go any further, we will talk spoilers, but
up until
I've seen all 13 episodes.
Right.
You've only seen 7.
Right.
So we'll probably stop. I might hint on a couple things, but I won't like specifically state it. But I'll just say, before I watched this, I wasn't planning on doing this at all. I didn't plan ahead, but I was just like, I got a couple days before Luke Cage comes out, and I'm just, I had the whole week to just look forward to it and get excited. Right. So I was like, what I'm going to do? I'm going to rewatch Jessica Jones. Just like casually, just have it on in the background while I'm doing other work.
Yeah.
And I managed to catch up right as the show.
Oh, yeah?
Like I had, I had 2 episodes left, and it was 2 hours before Luke Cage started. I was like, perfect. So I managed to catch up, and I was glad I did, because I picked up on a lot of stuff, threads that carry over from, what we did get to see of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in Jessica Jones, but oh my God, he is fantastic as Mike Coulter is phenomenal as his character. Character's so likable. He's a hero that's so easy to get behind.
It's something he said like earlier. I forget what episode it is. He's like, I just want to mind my own business.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a hero,
right?
But
not in the stupid way that sometimes they have him like, I don't want to be a hero, and then like they jump into. He's literally just trying to mind his own business.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to stay out of it because of his history. He was actually a cop that was framed and went to prison.
Do we find out what the framing stuff was?
You mean in the whole show?
Yeah. Do they just keep hinting at it? Okay.
Not really. I'm thinking maybe they might save the specifics for that, because they did go back into his past enough. The stuff they focused on this season, and you saw most of it.
Yeah.
In episode 4, I believe, is the one. Like episode 3 ends with
where he's in the prison.
Yeah, where he's trapped under the rubble, and and like that episode of
how are you gonna get us out of here?
Like
Let me
the
just say
episode
this.
of season 1 of. Remember that episode in season 1 of Daredevil when Daredevil was trapped in that, the police were surrounding the building.
Yeah.
And there was a sniper shooting cops and stuff, which I'm still hoping they might eventually, somewhere down the road, reveal that was Bullseye, the sniper. I don't know. That just because he was a sniper made me want to, sometime, they never revealed who that sniper was.
Oh, no?
Yeah. I don't think. Maybe they did, but I just missed it. But... yeah, so this is the same kind of episode. It was very simple. There was all the police and everybody were outside trying to dig him out. He was under there, and Connie had to, or Genghis Connie as they call her, they had to, she was like, how did you do all that and stuff? He had to help her get out, and the whole time it's flashing back to his.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite episodes, because really like the stuff with Reva, his wife. I love, there was so many. I mean, this show has more references
to other movies,
not just comic books and stuff, but
characters,
to other movies in the MCU, the other
Justin
shows.
Hammer,
yeah, they mentioned Justin Hammer like 20 times in this show. If you
what
don't
do we
know,
say?
If you don't know, Justin Hammer was the villain in Iron. He was one of the villains in Iron Man 2. He was Tony Stark's competition until Tony Stark stopped developing weapons at Stark Industries, and then Hammer Tech stepped in and started developing all their crappy weapons.
Does the guy on the street corner that's selling DVDs of basically the Avengers?
Oh, I love that character.
Does he have a name?
I don't know. Yeah, he's standing there just like, I got HD footage of the incident. I got it on Blu-ray. Tony Stark, the guy with the hammer, the green guy. There was so many references. I love that character, and he comes back later on. He pops up here and there throughout the season.
Good.
But I love his stuff in the last episode especially.
I think my favorite part of the show so far, my favorite little scene, is when, spoilers, you see him in the old school costume.
Yeah, that was
just for
a second after he breaks out of prison.
Yeah,
which my favorite was, and I'm glad they kind of held on to this. They didn't. This was the first time they did it in this season. Is when he punches the wall and it breaks and it doesn't hurt his hand or whatever. He's like, "Sweet Christmas."
Yeah.
That him upon realizing that he's got these powers now. Him saying that phrase in this season for the first time, it's perfect. And then he said it a bunch of times, handful of times after that. But yeah, that was great. And then he swam all the way, got back, and then he put on a yellow.
Yeah, because I didn't notice it at first.
And like when gauntlets on the wrist.
Because when he got out of the little tank, like I saw the gauntlets and the tiara thing, I was like, oh, cool, they put him in the thing.
Yeah.
But then like I was like, they're not gonna do the whole.
Yeah, they did.
And so when he's running, he grabs the clothes. I still didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then like he puts, I was like, oh, I jumped up. It was like the equivalent of when we watched Arrow.
Yeah.
And he
season 3
did the boxing glove arrow real quick.
Yeah.
Like you weren't really expecting it, and when they did it, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of that is like when he's walking by and he sees his reflection, he's like, you look like a damn fool.
Yeah, like, why don't they just make him look like he did in the comics? Well, that's why,
there's a reason.
He looks like a damn fool. But
I'd say it's the equivalent of...
Awesome knot. They did a similar thing in Jessica Jones where in Jessica Jones, when she was first introduced in the comics, she was just Jessica Jones. She looked like she did in the show. Mm-hmm. But they revealed that she had a history in this universe. Mm-hmm. Like Jessica Jones, they revealed that she was the classmate of Peter Parker's, and she had a crush on him, and then she was going to tell him, and then he got bitten by the spider and ran off. Mm-hmm. And they revealed that she was in a car accident, lost her family, and like with a barrel of chemicals splashed in the car, and that's how she got her powers, like kind of similar to Daredevil.
Right.
She was in a coma, and she woke up when Galactus attacked Earth in Fantastic Four, like 50 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so she's got
do the Spider-Man tie there, though, can they?
What?
She's too old to be. She's not old, but she's not
in the shows and stuff. But when they introduced her in the comics, she was age appropriate for that because Peter was like in his 20s or 30s or whatever.
And now he's like what, 17?
Yeah, and she's in the show. Yeah, he would be 16.
Yeah, and she's an adult, so
yeah.
And, I don't think she was held back that much.
Yeah, but she but she wanted to be a hero, like, when at one point in the comics, and she wore like this white suit with like a jewel on it, and her superhero name was Jewel. Mm-hmm. And then in the show, they showed a flashback where her friend Trish, who also appeared, did a voiceover cameo in Luke Cage on the radio, doing her Trish Talk show that we saw in Jessica Jones. We heard her talking about Luke Cage and how she trusts him because she met him in Jessica Jones, but she didn't say that on the radio. But it's in Jessica Jones they did a flashback where she held up the costume that Joel wore in the comics and was like, "This is the one," and Jessica's like, "I'm not wearing that." So it was a similar thing, but we actually got to see the costume on Luke.
They did that in Captain America when they put when he's doing the USO thing. They put him in the.
I love when they find ways of doing that stuff, like the simple costumes, like even in Civil War, like you see the first Spider-Man costume he made with the goggles and stuff.
Do you think Luke Cage is ever gonna have like a costume for the show, or is he just kind of every now and then gonna wear the yellow T-shirt?
Maybe he'll wear a yellow T-shirt.
Yeah.
I was actually, while we were watching it, because you came over early, you watched an episode 7 of it over here, and while you were doing that, I was just doing a little bit of research for the episode, and I was just looking at pictures of Luke Cage, see how he looked and everything, and most of the pictures we see is just him in jeans and a yellow T-shirt. And some of them he does have the gauntlets on his wrist, but I don't know why he would really need them.
Yeah, not that you wouldn't really need them again.
But yeah, he might wear, he wore different color shirts too, like red and stuff, and there was a red shirt he wore in the show. Yeah. But yeah, he can switch around the shirt colors and stuff. But right now they're going with the hoodie, which is a very provocative, image with everything that's going on right now. This is the perfect time for this show.
Yeah.
And it was really well done. The social commentary, the villains are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. Like you haven't even gotten to there's 4 main villains throughout the season.
Really?
You've seen Cottonmouth.
Right. I noticed some like similarities with like him and Kingpin.
Yeah.
Like the way they were more and so the way that they were telling his story.
Yeah, like the flashbacks to his troubled
and
youth or whatever.
They make you hate him at first, and then they give you like a little bit of the back. He's like, man.
Yeah, I want to hate him more than I do. He was so good. And, And spoiler alert: if you're not up to episode 7, he doesn't go much further past episode 7 because. Mariah Dillard, who in the comics Black Mariah was her character name, who I think she's going to start developing that more maybe in season 2, but we definitely see her turning towards that in this season. She's phenomenal. Alfre Woodard is fantastic in that role. You haven't seen Diamondback yet.
No, I've heard of him.
Well, he was in... I don't want to say anything, but he basically comes in after Cottonmouth gets killed, and he's like kind of like the big bad for the rest of the season.
Okay.
And there's more personal history there with him and Luke Cage.
Okay.
And so this season is almost like it's broken up into 2 mini seasons, because like episode 6 kind of felt like a mid-season finale almost. And it was cool that they wrapped that up. And then 7 is kind of the in-betweener between that and the final 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So you were at a perfect place to talk about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, like, I mean, I was saying there's Easter eggs to all the shows. The Pops, he calls Luke Power Man a couple times.
I love that.
Like, that's like a nickname. And then later when he says, I don't know if you got to that part.
Oh.
I don't want to... There's another Power Man reference, but it's just a reference. There's lots of Heroes for Hire references and stuff. Like,
you gotta pay me.
He's like, I'm not for hire at one point, which is ironic. So many sweet Christmases. The 70s look. Method Man has a cameo in episode 12.
Okay.
I really like it.
Is he playing himself?
Yeah, he's playing himself.
Okay.
It was in the trailer, the last trailer they did for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Luke is on his way somewhere, and he looks over and sees these 2 idiots robbing a convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't got time for this. He goes in there and it stops the robbery, and Method Man is there with the gas station clerk, and they're just kind of the 2 innocent people standing by. He's like, yo, you're Luke Cage. He's like, no, you were Method Man. It was great. And then I thought that was gonna be all, like, they trade hoodies.
Yeah,
because his hoodie's got the bullet holes in it. So he's like, you want to trade? He's like, I'm way ahead of you, man. And they traded, and then Method Man just got his fingers through the holes in the hoodie. And then later, they I thought
would be a pretty cool thing to have if you actually met like real life
superhero.
Luke Cage.
Yeah. And after that, I thought that was going to be all of Method Man's cameo.
Right.
But you see him one more time later. He's on a Sway. You remember Sway from MTV? He's got like a morning radio show now. Whatever. You see Method Man on Sway's. He's the guy that he used to be MTV News. Yeah. He has a radio show, and you see Method Man on the radio show, so he's talking about, he's like, guys, Luke Cage is for real. He's talking about the radio. It's really cool, and he raps. He does a rap about Luke Cage, and I want to buy that. I want to check iTunes, see if I can buy that Luke Cage Method Man rap. Turk Barrett. Let's talk about Turk Barrett for a second. Turk Barrett is, I was telling you about him earlier. Episode 2, there's a guy. If you don't know, there's a guy who's playing chess with Fish. Bobby Fish in Pop's barbershop.
I like that old guy playing chess though.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. There's a kid, I can't even remember his name, but he's on the run from Cottonmouth, and he's hiding out in the back of Pop's, and Turk sees this kid and goes off and snitch. Turk is a character from Daredevil.
Like, I was looking at him, I was like, you look real familiar.
Yeah, we realize he's in the same MCU. The Netflix show, and like, he's more of a Daredevil character in the comics, where his running gag is, whenever Daredevil needs information, he chases this guy down, beats his ass, and he'll spill. Turk spills everything he knows. He spills to anybody. He's all about making a profit. I love the character. I thought they've done him so well in Daredevil, and I was so excited to see him in Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've already talked about Trish's radio show. And we talked about Shades. I remember I said there was 4 main villains. Shades is the other one.
Yeah.
I really like Shades. Like, he's smarter. He may not be the most, like, the strongest or the most, like, evil or anything, but he's like the smartest of all the villains, I think.
You know what I know? There's a tiny bit of like like a better working Superman story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because Luke is just
he's invulnerable.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved watching him beat up that whole building full of dudes.
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome. But I was like...
there's no stakes because you know they can't hurt him.
I was like, he's not going to get hurt. But then as soon as I said that, like, as I was watching, like, as soon as I was like, man, he just can't get hurt, can he? And then they introduced that bullet.
The Judas bullet.
And then I was like, oh my God, I wish I didn't say anything. Yeah. I don't want him to get hurt.
So the last episode you saw was episode 7, which ended with that gun coming out the window of that car. And,
Space gun.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to hear your thoughts of that. Well, we'll talk about that next week after you've, hopefully by next week, you'll been able to finish it, and we'll touch back on Luke Cage again. I also want to point out, the female characters in the show are fantastic.
Yep.
They
Mariah, don't need no man.
Rosario Dawson,
she Claire don't need Temple, no man.
She comes in episode 5. I think she's been in Daredevil.
Wait, when she...
And one episode of Jessica Jones.
When she came in, was that when she was getting robbed? Was that her first?
Yeah, when she was just getting off the subway and then she was robbed. She just chases that dude down. I love that. Yeah.
She looked so angry. That was great.
This is my favorite appearance of Claire's is in Luke Cage. I think I don't want to say she necessarily fits better in this show, but knowing her history and seeing her character evolve,
right? She's
really coming into her own this season.
Mm-hmm. The night nurse?
Yeah, they make this season is the first time they reference there is a night nurse.
Right.
Those words are used in the season. I don't think you got to it yet.
Mm-mm.
It's just a throwaway thing. It's not anything significant, but they do call her night nurse for the first time this season. She's talking. Remember, she's talking with her mother, and she's talking with Luke at some point. She's talking about she wants to help these people who are helping people.
Yeah.
So she's starting to get the idea, and Pops there's no one to cut hair at Pops anymore. So what are they going to do with that building that they own? And so I'm thinking either they might do a Heroes for Hire office there at some point, or maybe they use it and set up Night Nurse's office.
Another
one of those two
place
things.
To get a haircut.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's really coming to her own and starting to develop her Night Nurse gimmick.
Yeah.
And Misty,
she don't need no man.
One last person to touch on, Misty Knight.
She don't need no man.
She don't need no man. Dude, Misty Knight was incredible. She was a fantastic character.
What was the dude's name that tried to shoot her in the car? The other...
the other detective. When Scarf is missing, they're trying to find him.
So my favorite part is when he tries to shoot her.
Yeah.
He blows out the window and she says,
She put the handcuffs on yourself and everything. She don't play that shit, dude. She's fantastic.
It's the worst.
I don't want to spoil too much, but we've talked about how in the comics she has a bionic arm.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it too much, but they didn't really get to that.
Okay.
But there's a lot of hinted at, like she gets shot. Basically, she gets shot in the arm at one point, and Claire's she's lucky she didn't lose her arm and stuff like that.
Oh.
So there's references to that. I don't know if
I thought you were gonna say she hit her funny bone.
And then this isn't too significant either, but the last time we see her in the show, what she's wearing and the way her hair is done, looks just like the comic book version of Misty Knight.
Gotcha.
And so that was a cool final image. Right, they did the same thing they did with Luke Cage in the costume. And Simone Missick, who plays Misty Knight, has confirmed that she will appear in The Defenders.
Nice.
So I don't know if she's just going to be a cop in that, or if she's going to start developing her, because she's a private investigator in the comics. Do you think works with Heroes for Hire and
in
stuff.
Defenders, is she going to need a man?
She ain't gonna need no man. So yeah, Misty Knight was fantastic. I'm excited to see. We'll see more of her. There was, there was a Wilson Fisk reference. There was a Frank Castle reference. There's a dude who appeared in season 2 of. I think he was an assistant DA in season 2 of Daredevil, and he has a quick cameo when the cops are trying to catch Luke Cage. This show, I mean, I love Daredevil so much, but this show is a very close second.
Right.
It's so good.
I really liked when he was going into that building, he just kind of puts in headphones.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna listen to some music while
I take out all of these idiots and they're slinging couches around.
Now, I don't want to say that, what is it? That I was taken out of the show during that fight, but when he grabbed the car door and wrapped the other dude in it, I could only think of those two actors being like, "This is fun, isn't it?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, God, that would be fun. I love, when when he comes into that boxing gym and just.
We thought that he had jumped through the.
Because when the door flies open and a guy just falls to the ground, I thought at first, just for a split second, that Luke Cage just jumped into the door and fell like as he was coming through. It looks so funny, but no, he just threw a guy. Then he was just throwing people up in the air.
Right.
Like, I love that stuff. I love the way he fights and stuff. He looks bored.
Yep.
Just throwing people around, getting tired of buying new clothes. That's so good.
He don't need no man. That's silly.
All right. The showrunner of Chio Hodari Coker is a showrunner of Luke Cage.
That's the name.
He's teased a little bit. Maybe we might see a little bit of Heroes for Hire in season 2.
Good.
Because Iron Fist is the next show. They just confirmed the release date for Iron Fist, March 17th, 2017.
Now, is it Iron Fist and then Defenders?
Yes.
Okay.
Possibly Punisher before that.
Really?
Which wasn't the plan, but it still sounds like
it's probably like a big reaction to how good
like
Punisher
there's been
was.
even more evidence. Remember we talked before that there's evidence that they might be shooting Punisher now?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's been even more stuff lately. There's been pictures of him on set and stuff. So it looks like he's working on Punisher right now. So maybe Punisher then Defenders, or Defenders then Punisher. I don't know. Defenders. Actually, Defenders is only going to be an 8-episode thing.
Oh, is it?
So they could possibly start after Punisher, and if Punisher's 13 episodes, they could start, and especially if Punisher's not in Defenders or any of that, if there's not as much crossover, they can be shooting both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Start Punisher ahead of time because it's got 5 more episodes. Finish Defenders first still, and get it out first.
Frank Castle don't need no man.
So yeah, Iron Fist is coming. Frank Castle don't need no man. All right, let's move on to the DC stuff.
The other side of the...
Did you see The Flash?
Of course.
On Big Bang Theory?
No.
Flash was on Big Bang Theory this week.
Do you mean Grant Gustin?
No. It was like a fantasy thing where Sheldon saw The Flash and it was a guy. And sometimes when you're watching these shows and you wonder why they don't make the costumes look exactly like they did in the comics where they look like spandex and stuff. Found out if you watch Big Bang Theory this week, it looked kind of goofy. It was just like a dream sequence thing he needed. He was sleep deprived, and Flash is like his fixer trying to get him hooked on energy drink or something. It was dumb. He was like, the first one's free. Anyway, I thought that was a stupid segue into talking about The Flash. Season 3 started on CW this Tuesday. Flashpoint. The episode was titled Flashpoint. What'd you think about Flashpoint?
Loved it. Couldn't wait for season 3. I was really excited.
Yeah, this was the show I've been looking most forward to. The only I actually went back and read the Flashpoint story, the comic graphic novel collection of that, because I was just like, I know it's not going to be the same thing. Right. I just want to read it to see if there's to pick out anything that they did.
Anything that they tried to wink at you with.
Which there wasn't a lot.
Right. Fair enough.
It was very, very Flash-centric, which I kind of expected, but I was kind of hoping we might see little things about other people in the world.
Right.
I will say this, that I don't want to fault the episode because it was a good episode, but just about everything that happened is what I expected to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe out of order a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I thought that there was some things that were kind of out of order. Like I thought we might see, because in the Flashpoint comic, it starts off with Barry waking up at his desk at work,
and
that's when he slowly starts realizing.
So you wanted to start from the beginning.
I kind of wanted to start from him realizing that it's going on, but he had been there for a couple months, so they couldn't really do that, which is cool because they gave him that he had those 3 months with his parents.
Yeah.
So that was the important thing. I liked that, But all the characters were as I expected.
Yeah.
I maybe didn't expect. I thought maybe he knew that Wally was Kid Flash the whole time.
Uh-huh.
But he had to figure that out when Wally fell out of the building and he had to save him.
Right.
I guess I don't know why, but I didn't realize. I don't know. I guess there was some disconnect in my head for me because I didn't really think about. Season 2 ends. He runs in, stops Reverse Flash from killing his mom.
Yeah.
And then grabs Reverse Flash and takes him and puts him in the cell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked that they had Reverse Flash in there. Dude,
that costume looks really good.
The Reverse Flash costume?
Yeah, I just really like it.
I always loved that costume.
And I like that dude as Reverse Flash.
Yeah. I liked, like I said, I liked Tom Cavanaugh in season 1 when he was that character, but, looking like Harrison Wells.
Uh-huh.
I'm loving that they're finding ways of bringing this Reverse Flash back.
Yeah.
And there was a cryptic warning at the end of the episode where he was like, he made him beg him to kill his mom.
Dude, I was so upset.
Yeah. He's as you said a couple weeks ago when he's like, "Who's the villain now, Flash?"
Still you, bro.
Still you, buddy.
Still you.
You son of a bitch.
God.
Yeah, but
like I really there's a small like they were both like, "I hate you." He's like, "I hate you too."
Yeah.
I really like that because it didn't go on
so
and on.
Simple, yeah.
It was just no big monologue. He's like, "Dude, I hate you."
They're still committing to that. The simpleness of the hatred between these two characters. We may not know for years why they hate each other, and I'm okay with that because it really doesn't matter. Like,
I hate you.
Perfect.
I hate you. I hate you too.
Yeah. The one thing I would have liked at the end of the episode is, remember we talked about this, how many flashes there are in that moment.
In that room.
In the end of the episode, you see Flash and Reverse Flash fade away when they come back to fix the problem. Yeah. But I kind of still wanted that part where he looks over and holds his hand up and tells the other Youngberry to stop.
We might still be able to see it.
Yeah, but that should have... I felt that should have been in that moment.
That should have been it.
Where you just kind of see the door... You see Flash peeking through the door a little bit, because in that timeline, he would have let the death to happen, and then that Barry would have told other Barry let it happen. Other Barry would let it happen, season 1 Barry, and then come in there, and he would be able to say goodbye to his mom in that moment, and the timeline would still all be fixed, which they tried to fix it.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So he gets back, and Iris is missing. Or gone, not there.
Yeah.
So some things
that was the one thing of the episode that I didn't really see coming is I knew there would be consequences for him even after he fixed the timeline, because it's a butterfly effect. If you go back and change anything, even if you change it back, it's still not going to be exactly right because you mess with time.
Right.
So
maybe he's going to have to keep going back and trying to fix everything, and maybe then we'll see him be like, dude. Him back and putting up the hand like, dude, I'm telling you now.
I was also thinking,
don't do anything.
You know what? I like that. I hope you're right, because I also wanted this.
There's going to be 25 berries in that room.
Yeah, him fixing the timeline this time. The only difference I saw in Flash was, obviously the only thing we saw was that last episode, but they revealed that Iris and Joe are not on speaking terms, and it was kind of a. They kind of thought it was a little messed up when he said, "Where's Iris?" They kind of reacted like, "Asshole! All right, we get it. Your dad died. All right, but you don't have to throw our shit in our face."
It's interesting that you just said, because so he doesn't talk to Iris, but he does talk to Wally.
He talks to Wally. I loved how he came in and just hugged Wally.
Yeah,
it was like he doesn't know why you hugged him, but the audience does, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. I kind of dug that the reason he had to come back was because of Wally. He had to save Wally. I really like that because they haven't had that close relationship,
right? And
I think after that they're gonna start developing that, and I'm really excited about that.
Kid Flash. Don't call me that.
I like that, and everyone started calling him Kid Flash. I love Cisco as a billionaire.
Well, of course.
Of course, yeah. He's like, "Do you mean there's a universe where I'm not a billionaire?" Caitlin was very underserved.
I think maybe that was for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
I think it was for a very comedic effect.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to try to change things again, and she's going to be something else different.
She's like, "So was I kidnapped?" And he's like, "Unclear."
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, it was a great episode. It just, like I said, it played out exactly how I expected it to. So there was not a lot of surprises, except for that last Iris nugget at the end when they revealed that. But I did like seeing Kid Flash and Flash working together was cool.
It was really, really nice.
Hopefully we'll get to that at some point. Because you know what? I like that they still have the costume. They invested the money in making that great costume.
True. They're not just going to use it for 10,
just
15
one time.
minutes.
Yeah. We'll see that costume on him again. Maybe later this season. But,
I can't wait for
I think it's about time. Because it's been it's the third season now.
Yeah.
If we see, in Arrow, it was the third season when Arsenal started. Like, it was at the end of season 2 when he was just wearing a hoodie and he was kind of training him. But at the end of season 2 of Flash, we started seeing
why
Wally
not have
in there.
Wally?
So I think it's about time for we'll see him as Kid Flash again this season. I think it's perfect time.
Better.
Yeah. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about about Flashpoint before we move on to Arrow?
I just thought it was great.
I like the rival.
Yeah.
That was a cool villain. I like he just straight up took off his mask. Yeah. I am Edward Claris. And he's like, the reason I'm doing this is because you're not going to tell anybody. Like, he fully expected to kill both of them.
Uh-huh.
It's cocky.
I'm confident I am going to kill you.
Love these cocky speedsters.
I thought it might have been Harrison Wells or something.
Oh, really?
Or not Harrison Wells.
That would have been kind of cool because we didn't get to see Harrison Wells in the Flashpoint universe.
Or not Harrison Wells, but the Reverse Flash guy. We got to figure out what his real name is.
Matt Lesher.
Okay. I thought maybe like, that'll be...
Yeah.
But that would make sense.
Yeah.
But maybe Harrison Wells, that would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. We didn't get to see what he was doing in the Flashpoint universe, so that was odd.
Maybe we will.
Yeah. Okay.
He gone.
And at the end, we got to see that alchemy thing.
Right.
Which I'm wondering what that exactly meant.
Mm-hmm.
There was a voice calling. The voice sound... I'm guessing that might be... Remember we said that the voice of Dr. Alchemy is going to be Tobin Bell from Jigsaw?
Mm-hmm.
Or Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Was that his voice? I guess I didn't really listen close enough to see. Maybe that was his voice. So it scratched alchemy in the thing. So what I'm asking is that was main timeline, or at least the timeline we're on now, Edward Claris, which was the rival in the Flashpoint universe. Is he going to become Dr. Alchemy in this universe?
Maybe. It seemed like he had a little bit of Luke Cage syndrome when he was trying to mind his own business and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So...
we touched on that. All right, so let's move on. We just, right before we started rolling, we just watched the premiere of Arrow. So...
Much better.
Yes. They have been promising a throwback to an earlier season 1, season 2 Arrow, and we saw it. Like, he's killing again.
Yes.
He's killing.
Do you mean
fools.
like killing as in like, the show's doing really good, or
both? The show's killing it and he's breaking necks. Like, we knew that the flashbacks were going to be in Russia and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm already more interested in those.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, like just a different setting makes it like, I thought the Hong Kong would be a different setting, a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
No.
I thought last season going back to the island maybe a nice change of pace back to the original pace. Didn't really work except for the Constantine episode. I liked that.
Right.
And now they're in Russia. He's got long hair again.
Good.
So at this point, if he doesn't cut it off again, which I hated, I'm so pissed off when they cut his hair off last season. Which I know that what we saw at the first episode was not 5 years worth of hair growth and beard growth. But starting all the way over was kind of dude, you've only got 1 year left to catch up to that. I was thinking about it as I was watching it. The way his hair is now is a couple months of growth. It would be like, what, 3, 4, 5 months since we last saw him at the end of the flashbacks. And maybe they're not as strictly, timed with the present day storyline as like, it's been exactly 3 months for both storylines or whatever. But yeah, he's got the long hair again, which I like. I like a different. It makes it feel different. It makes it feel like a flashback.
Yeah, because the other one, it just seemed like
it looked just like regular. Right. Yeah, it was stupid. I don't know why they did that last season.
Know. Maybe it was easier on him.
Maybe, but it wasn't better for us, like the audience. Like he's been,
I like
committed to that every season. So
it's just the way that they even shot it was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like the camera movement and like the fight scenes were.
You mean the whole episode, not just the flashbacks? Yeah, there was some really cool stuff in this episode, like some action beats that like I wasn't really expecting, like him ziplining like through the building was exploding all around him, that warehouse near the end of the episode.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it,
if you haven't seen of course this is wall to wall spoiler alerts on our TV reviews here, I guess, but
I'm just. Parachute Arrow.
Parachute Arrow was awesome.
A thing I didn't know that I wanted.
Like grappling up to that helicopter and fighting him in that helicopter was awesome.
I was like,
he is not playing around this season.
Finally.
I've liked what I've seen of Tobias Church. I think he's a really interesting villain.
See, because like last season I liked Arrow, but like I was like, come on. It was still better than Gotham, but like watching the episodes, I was like, no.
Yeah.
But this, like the first season, I'm like, okay, I'm back now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the direction this season of Arrow is headed in.
Mm-hmm.
We see them talking about building a team.
Yep.
They're actually building 2 teams because Quentin Lance, former detective, former Captain Lance, is back in Star City. Him and Donna are not together anymore, sadly. He's drinking a lot. He doesn't have anything to be sober for.
Made me a little sad.
Man, that was a bummer. Yeah, I was like, that was the one thing that felt kind of soap opera-y to me of the episode. Especially the stuff between him and Thea, where they're both kind of pushing away. But it was still
interesting to watch.
It was, yeah, and it felt true to the characters.
Yeah.
Through everything they've been through. Thea, I did like seeing her. I was wondering if she's just not gonna suit up at all this episode. I was glad she suited up one more time. Might be the last time we see her suited up now, because they're putting together these teams.
Right.
I like Quentin's idea of putting together a squad of like the anti-crime unit.
I felt like someone should have yelled out, "You mean the police?"
Yeah, right? But yeah, they're putting together the special task force that's trying to rid the city of the crime, and they are going to answer to Mayor Queen, which we haven't talked about. He's mayor now.
Yep.
He's trying to balance that.
That was fun. What did Diggle say? You still the mayor?
Yeah, just when he was on the phone, he was like, "You still the mayor?" Like, it was kind of what?
Oh, they didn't kick you out yet.
He is.
I thought they would have kicked you out.
Yeah, I was thinking we might not get to see Diggle at all. Now, I didn't notice any differences between other than the show, just the tone of it, everything, and then them like trying to aim for that season 1 bullseye, so to speak.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't see any effects of Flashpoint yet. They have spoken. They've talked about
it's gonna have little bits.
Yeah, but they did say that Diggle is going to be affected the most, and we didn't see anything about Diggle's family in this.
Yet.
So all we know is what he said last season. He's going back to the military, army, whatever.
Yeah.
He's going back to that for a little while, and he's true to his word. He was still out there. And Ollie, just poor optimistic Ollie, the whole time thinking that Thea and Diggle are going to come back. My friend? Yeah, he was so...
He's pretty much asking everyone to be his friend. I felt
bad for him.
It's like, hey, you guys want to come hang out in my fort?
Yeah, well...
Everyone's just like, nah, I'm good.
They introduced one major new character, we really got a good look at one of the new characters on the team, and that was Wild Dog. We got to see a little bit of him, trying to help Ollie in the beginning of the episode, and Ollie wasn't having that shit. He shot him in the leg.
Right.
He was like, "You're gonna want to elevate that." He was
elevate
like,
what?
Elevate what? He was screaming. He was like, "Ah!" Like, I really like that. We see that Felicity is pushing him to start this new team. She's already got people planned out. There was I saw 4 different people there at least. There was Wild Dog, Vigilante, the girl who stole Laurel's costume last season, who is going to apparently become Artemis. And there was one other person. It looked like a woman, and I wasn't sure who the character was. It looked like a design I've seen from the comics, like old, like 80s era, like grittier, like Neil Adams type comics. Maybe Lady Shiva. I don't know. It was kind of hard to tell, but I thought maybe it was Lady Shiva. I don't know. So yeah, I'm curious about that, and that's a character. You mean
the sword from the White Ranger on Power Rangers?
No,
that's Saba.
Okay, thanks for the information on that one.
You're welcome. Who he was the Green Ranger.
I really liked the way
we're talking about Green Arrow.
Okay.
See how I brought it back?
Perfect. Flawless. I really liked what I saw of Wild Dog. He looks like he's got heart, and
that's about it.
Got that costume, that hoodie, or that jersey and the hockey mask. Yeah, hoodie. Went back to Luke Cage. A lot of hoodie talk.
Yep.
He was interesting. I'm really excited to see that. There's another character that all we saw at this point was a sketch. That was Vigilante. There's a character we saw. He was a detective that was investigating the crime scene that was the result of the first time we saw Tobias when he killed the cops and and everybody in there.
Right.
So we saw a detective. We saw him then, and then we saw him at the end of the episode with Felicity.
Right.
So Felicity is dating another superhero.
Do you think
she's
knows?
Dated Oliver? She does. I bet she doesn't. But of course, she didn't know with Ray either.
Right.
Like, she's dating Oliver. She kind of dated Barry before he became the Flash.
Right.
She dated Ray before he became the Atom. And now it looks like, if my theory is correct, I don't know for sure, but I think that guy is supposed to be Vigilante.
Okay.
Because I think he's a cop who's also doing that. No, wait. No, someone else is playing Vigilante. Then who's that guy?
Maybe he's a bad guy.
He could be. Maybe. Oh, he might be Prometheus. Give me a second. His name was Tyler Ritter. He looked like one of John Ritter's kids. Okay, so I just did a little bit of research. Looks like that, from what I've gathered, looks like that was Prometheus that we saw at the end of the episode. I thought it could also be Ragman, because Ragman has kind of a almost Spectre-like. He's got a green cloak hood thing. But it looks like he was
Are you talking about Zoom Arrow?
Yeah, you called him Zoom Arrow, which I liked. He's very much like a Zoom meets...
Right.
The thing I like about what I'm hearing is his gimmick in the comics is that he studies the members of the Justice League,
right,
and figures out how to fight against them. So maybe that's why he's using a bow and arrow in this, because he wants to make himself equal to Arrow to take him down.
So for taking out the Flash, he has to like go jogging,
I guess. Yeah. So there's that. I did see someone saying that possibly that. Remember when Oliver is on the call with Diggle on the video chat?
Yeah.
And he says he's got the worst case of deja vu. What did that mean?
Flashpoint stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm... That's what this article I'm reading here, I saw here on comicbook.com suggested. That, that it's, because we know that he is going to be affected by Flashpoint.
Right.
That might be a clue. That might mean something.
How many people do you think only watch Arrow but don't watch any...
I think there's more people that watch Flash and not Arrow.
But, like, I'm saying, like... Because how much of a line do they have to, like, walk on to be like... Okay, there's this section of people that probably only watch Arrow, so we can't, like, throw a whole bunch of Flash stuff that they won't get or understand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that kind of weird? Like, wouldn't you just automatically assume that if you watch one of these, you probably watch the other one?
No, I actually don't. I think
really?
We're in the minority, yeah.
Wow.
Because we're the nerds that commit to watching 4 shows. Like 4 shows in this universe.
Right.
Some people just watch, like, they have 1 or 2 shows that they watch every week, and that's it. Like, I know that I watch a lot of TV. I watch way too much TV. Wish I could cut some things loose, but there's just so much stuff I like. And I know that I'm in the minority.
Well, I mean,
and I know that
whatever, do what you like.
Yeah, but for us, like, the way that these writers, these producers make this show is awesome. They make all these shows where they cross over, connect, and stuff. So what we were talking about earlier with the Flashpoint thing, maybe you're right. Maybe we'll see Barry try to fix it again to fix the Irish
That's
Joe
what I'm
thing,
assuming is going to happen.
It'll have further consequences. But I do know that we're going to be seeing I think we're going to be seeing Jay Garrick again next week.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a picture from the second episode.
I saw a trailer. Part of the trailer.
Okay, yeah, you were watching something earlier.
Yeah.
I know it was a Flash trailer, but yeah, I'll check that out in a minute. Okay, so back to Arrow. One thing we didn't really discuss, we discussed Felicity's new boyfriend, who, from what I can gather, is just a cop right now. He's just a detective. Maybe he's Prometheus. Maybe he's one of these other characters. I don't know. I'm wrong because I know who's playing Vigilante, so I don't know why I connected those two. Vigilante is going to be played by a dude who I really liked in the show Sirens. He was my favorite part of that show.
You know what I just thought of? It was in season 2 of Flash. When Hunter Zolomon was talking to... Oh, who was it? I think he was talking to Caitlin about Atlantis.
Yeah.
And he said something
when we thought he was Jay Garrick. Yeah.
He said something to the effect of, like, oh, one of my best friends lives there. I'm hoping at some point we'll get an Aquaman somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Atlantis wasn't sunken. It wasn't the sunken city of Atlantis on Earth 2.
No? No,
Atlantis... Because, like, remember Barry's parents went there. Remember when he called his mom? Like, thank you for the tickets. Like, if I remember correctly, Atlantis didn't sink in that... In on Earth 2, it's still above water, so it's kind of like in
Earth 1 it might be underwater.
Yeah, so on Barry and all these characters, the prime DC CW universe, the Aquaman could exist in that universe, but I doubt we'll see him. Like, I think Aquaman's one that we might not see, even though there's been a history of him popping up in these shows, like on Smallville and stuff, and they even tried to do an Aquaman series of his own back when they were doing Smallville.
Played by
the guy who played Green Arrow.
Brings us
back to Arrow.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of new elements this season.
Good.
But what we saw, we liked.
Yes.
Now, one thing I want to touch on, I don't know how you felt about it. I was a little confused by this. We finally got to hear what Laurel's last words were to Ollie before she died.
Right.
She said, "Don't let me be the last canary."
Uh-huh.
Now, what do you think that means? Like,
I think that means, I mean, obviously it means, find someone else to, like, be your partner out on the streets. But I think what it means is...
But she wasn't his only partner at that time, and she didn't know that the rest of the team was going to break up at the end of the season.
I think what she meant by that was, like, don't stop with...
Yeah, keep carrying on this mantle. So,
yeah.
I mean, she got the mantle from her sister, who was just the canary. Mm-hmm. She became Black Canary. Now her sister's
I think
the
she was
Canary.
saying don't stop just because of me.
So I was under the assumption that the only other female that so far that we know that they add to the team
is the girl
who stole her costume. Right. From what I've heard, she's gonna be Artemis. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that quite means. The mantle, if it's just let someone else wear my costume or something. Don't throw that away. And
I took a lot of time.
That cost money. I don't know.
Money.
I'm curious. That wasn't what I was expecting from her final words. Maybe she's like, remember in season 1 when you killed people? Should do that again.
Do that again. Hey,
I did like
you remember that parachute arrow that you made but never used? Use it.
Remember when? Okay, so I did like the touch on earlier in the episode when he had to kill that guy. Mm-hmm. When he had to snap that dude's neck. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing he did in, like, I believe it might have even been the first episode of Arrow.
Yeah.
When he snapped another dude's neck in the same way, he had him like he was about to scorpion death drop him or something. Like he had the head down there and snapped it. It's the same way he killed the guy in the first season. I believe he said a similar line it's like, no one can know my secret.
Yeah.
Like that. And it was the same thing. Cause he was tied down and he got out of the chair again. It was a really nice callback to the first episode there that I just realized as I was.
You know what also would have been great?
Playing through that. Yeah.
If when he takes his hand out from behind the chair to show that he's not tied up, he said, "Keep my name out your mouth."
All right. So yeah, he's killing again. Thea's not a big fan of it.
Nope.
Felicity doesn't seem to care. She's not. No. I figured she would be kind of writing him about that too.
Kill people, go play with your friends.
Yeah, I'm dating a new cop. I got a new boyfriend now. Anyway, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that aren't really happy about that. I don't really care too much whether they're dating or not.
Yeah, I don't care.
I always wanted, Oliver Queen in the comics, the love of Oliver Queen's life is Dinah Lance, Black Canary. In the show, we saw Laurel. It wasn't quite the same version, wasn't quite up to what my standards for a Black Canary character.
Right.
I have been hearing rumors that Laurel's coming back to the show one way or another, like around halfway through this season. Mm-hmm. So I'm at least hoping whatever way they do it, maybe does it in a way where it can be open to kind of make the character closer to the Black Canary from the comics. Mm-hmm. Definitely give her a different costume because I'm not really
Matrix looking. It's like, why are you dressed like that?
She's got the nightstick.
I'm alright with having a nightstick.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like more of just like a staff, like her sister uses.
Yeah.
And stuff. I know
I guess I like the staff better than a nightstick.
Yeah. Maybe when she does come back, maybe for some reason they have to pretend she's not Laurel.
I don't know why. Her dad would go insane.
Well, no, they would have to
either be dead or don't be dead.
Why do all my daughters die and then come back and die and come back?
This is wicked annoying.
Okay, no, we don't need that voice in this.
I love that dude's voice.
Yeah.
He does it. Did you know he's British?
Yeah. Did you go? You kind of went a little British when you asked me that. Did you know he's British?
Oh, did you know he's British, isn't
it? All right. We're getting to the end here. Before we go, let's plug our stuff. Actually, you know what? Before I want to say next week's Supergirl. Next Monday, the day this episode drops, Supergirl comes back.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get caught up on that in time.
Yeah. I also wanted to say the 100th episode of Arrow is coming up.
100 really?
100th episode of Arrow. I mean, 5 seasons. There's like 22 episodes of the season. So it's actually going to be part 3 of the 4-part crossover event.
Nice.
That they're doing this year between Supergirl, Legends, Flash, and Arrow. It looks like Deathstroke's coming back for episode 100. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's a good character.
Also, Supergirl. It looks like Supergirl's going to be a part of that because she's going to be a part of the crossover. Supergirl comes out Monday. Superman. Did you see that? Did you see the clip that they released?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Like, what'd you think?
I thought it was good.
I did too.
He's smiling.
Yeah, he's talking to Mr. White and all this.
No. Talking to anybody.
Yeah, he's talking to someone. It's on the phone, whatever. He's talking to his cousin. Like,
a friend.
Thank you. Like, there was also, so that clip came out. There was also a trailer. The trailer gave us possibly our first look at Miss Martian.
You know what I just realized? In Batman v Superman, he's sitting in his room, in his apartment, in his sweatpants, watching TV.
Yeah.
Why is Superman in his sweatpants at home watching TV?
Why is Superman doing the same thing I could be doing while I'm watching Superman?
I'm paying money for this.
Yeah. So yeah, the trailer
Batman v Depression.
The trailer for Supergirl might have gave us our first look at Miss Martian. Also, name check Gotham. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
There was something happened. Some guys like, come on, we're moving back to Gotham. Like, Gotham exists. Like I said before, Gotham exists in the Supergirl universe.
Good.
That city
exists. Are they going to take it?
Oh, and there was another Bloodhaven reference tonight on Arrow.
That's right, there was.
Yeah. So...
Supergirl don't need no man.
Supergirl don't need no man. All right. Nobody need no man. I'm wondering if Superman might appear in the crossover this season.
Oh God, can you imagine?
At least Martian Manhunter.
Dude, no, wait, hang on. I don't want to get myself too excited, but
yeah,
if they have in the same room, if they have Superman, Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow, Flash, Atom,
White Canary.
I mean, I don't care about White Canary,
but she would be there if Atom is. Rip Hunter, Firestorm.
Oh my God, Firestorm.
Mr. Terrific.
Wild
Dog and Vigilante
Wildcat
and all them. Artemis. Bring Wildcat back. Here's Batman for no reason.
I mean, why not?
This universe has been expanding over the past 5 years, and I'm really excited. I just love it more and more the more it grows.
Right.
And I'm excited to see that even Arrow's back on track now.
Yes.
So hopefully Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow really stay on there, and we can get 4 really solid shows across the board on the CW. Anyway, before we go, let's plug our stuff. If you like this episode, check it out on YouTube. Click like, subscribe to our channel. Even if you don't use iTunes, go to iTunes, leave a review, subscribe to our channel. This is more so than anything else helps us out the most is getting our iTunes and all that stuff up. Get it out there so people can find it easier. The more you review and subscribe and stuff, that will make that happen.
Doing this will cost you no money.
It won't cost you anything. It's just a couple clicks.
Take you less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. So please do that. Help us out. Give us a follow on Twitter. Shout out. Let us know what you're thinking. Talk to us. Let us know if you like the show.
Yeah. If you don't talk to us, we're gonna end up like Superman.
Yeah.
Just in our sweatpants.
Sweatpants, watching TV. I'm on Twitter at Jeff_Grantz, GRANTZ. You are?
At Steven Tukert, StevenTeuchert. Gotta shorten that.
Just change your name to Wild Dog or something. All right, and until next week, we'll see you next week. That was terrible.
Until next week, we'll see you on the other side of the Nerdiverse.
All right, that works.